Hi, it's Angie and Chris, and we're out here at Canterbury Trails Farm, and it is raining outside, but I got all the morning stuff done this morning, so that's all the watering and stuff, which now it's getting double watered, but we're in here doing some drywall in what's going to be Chris's study or office, and later on we're going to, well, we had planned on running up to the wooded lot that we have just to check on it. We haven't actually looked at it in the summer. We've just looked at it in the winter. So we're going to drive up there. It's just a few minutes away, but it's raining now, so I don't know if we'll be doing that or not. We'll have to see. But for the meantime, we're just working on this room in here. More drywall. I haven't done an extensive farm video out here because basically it's just been carpet tack strips and drywall, and so it's just drywall. So until we get to after we get this room done, Chris will probably be doing a bookcase, and because we're still waiting on the electrical situation to get resolved in the living room, so we can't really progress in there. We might be able to build the platform for the wood stove, but really we're at a standstill in that room. So it's drywall in here and the possible bookcase in the bedroom for probably the next month and a half. Is what I'm figuring, and then we'll start losing time in the winter when it gets just too cold to come up here. But so that's what we're doing. You have any thoughts? No thoughts. Just tired of drywall is what we are. So that's just a little snippet. I'll probably hook this to something else that's going on, just so y'all know what's going on at the up here. But just more of the same, and I'm sure no one wants to see 25 videos of white drywall continuously being hung on walls. So
yeah, I'm gonna wrap up. I've got the one wall here that I was gonna finish up, and then I've got one more piece to hang over here, and then I'm done for the day. So we'll head up to the property and then call it a day. Head back. But
yeah,
that's it for me.
Okay. All right, so we'll look at this summer view of the wooded lot that we've bought to supply our firewood. I think the last video of it was up way back in February. So if you want to see that one, it was something about searching for self-sustainability, I think was the title of the video, and it's way back there in February. So haven't been up there since February. So that's what we'll be doing. This is Angie from Canterbury Trails Farm. Today I'm going to be showing you how to use your vine peaches in a vine peach loaf. It's sort of a cross between a bread and a cake. I guess it would probably be more like a quick bread. So the first thing I've done is I am using the recipe that I originally made. I wrote an article for Self Reliance Magazine, and I will post the, it came out in a Kindle-only magazine, but the print anthology is available that has the recipe in it. So I will provide that link if you're interested in acquiring the anthology to read the print instructions. This recipe is a little bit different from the one that I that I wrote for the magazine. If you've been hanging out with me, you know that I like things that are versatile, that I can use what I have on hand. In the original recipe, it calls for 5 vine peaches. But the great thing about vine peaches is you can use them interchangeably with a lot of other fruits because they were used as a fruit stretcher primarily in the Victorian and the throughout the Depression. Sometimes they were used to be pickled and put into sort of like salsas and chutneys and stuff like that. But they were also used in baking as a fruit stretcher. So if you didn't have enough apples or peaches or whatever you were cooking with, you could also substitute a vine peach. In this recipe, I'm going to be using 4 vine peaches and an apple, and I'm also going to be using a cup of cranberries. In the original recipe, I used a half a cup of raisins. So it is versatile. You can sort of use any dried fruit, berry, any different berry, whatever flavor you think would make a good combination. I've hollowed out my vine peaches, and I have saved the seeds. I used a potato peeler to peel them. I often use that with my apples and things too when I'm just using 1 or 2 for a recipe. And you can see it cuts up. It's very similar to the apple that I'm using here too. First thing you want to do is butter and flour a loaf pan and preheat your oven to 350. I've added 2 cups of flour, and now I'm going to put all my diced apple and vine peaches in there. Got a cup of cranberries. I need a tablespoon of cinnamon. My original recipe also had it optional that you could add nutmeg. Need a teaspoon baking powder. 2/3 cup of sugar. 4 eggs. You want 2/3 cup of melted butter. And on the milk you want a 1/4 cup plus 2 tablespoons. Make sure it's all mixed here. Sometimes the bottom stuff will stick around there. Okay, we're going to pour it into the loaf pan that we've already prepared. Smooth the top a little bit here. Not necessary, just looked a little messy. And I'm going to sprinkle mine. I have these sugar, like cooking sugar that gets a little shiny when you cook it. I'm just going to sprinkle that on the top just so it'll look pretty. Now I'm going to put this in the oven for 60 minutes, and then somewhere in between there I always check on it, and I'll cover it with foil if it's getting too brown. So check it about halfway. I'm about 30 minutes, check it. If it looks like it's getting too brown or burned, go ahead and cover it with a piece of foil. So let's go ahead and pop this into our oven and let it cook. And there you have it. It was about 67 minutes. I put it back in to get a little bit more brown on top. So obviously check it, make sure your center comes clean, and you know, like a toothpick or something comes out clean. And depending on if your stove runs hot or cold or whatever, you might just have to put it in for a few more minutes. But there you have it, and that's an easy way to use up your vine peaches or stretch like an apple and use them in a very versatile quick bread. And I will put the link to the anthology where the printed instructions are in case you're interested in that. And this has been Angie from Canterbury Trails Farm, and we thank you for joining us today. Bye.